I was not prepared for that. I'm just kidding. Oh, Gold Line Cards, Chris here, ENS Sports Cards. Che, and tonight we have the man who is not Nolan Ryan, my buddy Brian.
I am not Nolan Ryan, and I can prove it.
He cannot throw a 107-mile-an-hour pitch in batting practice. He did not beat up anybody on the field, get him in a headlock.
I've never met Robin Ventura, let alone, headlocked him and punched him. So
yeah, so we haven't done a show in a long time. So
it has been a while.
Even my wife today was like, I can't wait to watch. You guys are just going to get on, have a great time. So, I'm doing great, having a great day. Che, Brian, how are you guys doing? Che, we'll go ahead and start with you. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm absolutely doing great. I'm rejuvenated in the hobby. I'm rejuvenated in life. I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm doing great, man. Couldn't be better. So glad to be here. It's been a long time. It feels like it's been forever since we've been on. So I'm excited to be here. Glad to have the one, the only, not Nolan Ryan, the new Twitter tag du jour of the week. Love to have him on here. So I always like when we have a guest. So I'm excited, man. Let's do this.
All right, Brian, how we doing tonight? Let's start off with, hey, how's it going before we get into some topics?
Hello. I'm having a good day. We had off work today, so that's always a plus. Rounding out the 3-day weekend, always nice to have a day of recovery after 4th of July celebrations. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited to hear Che's rejuvenation story into the hobby, back into the hobby, and see how everyone else is doing.
Awesome. I'm fired up to hear about it too. But something that's got me back going this week is the random hobby tags. So I got to start with the conversation I had with my buddy, Nick Lucchese. He goes by Nick_Lucchese on Twitter. He's like one of my really good friends. I chat with him all the time. And he's just like, he really likes to follow Card Purchaser. I know both of you guys do too. He is great for the hobby. Him and I have gotten into it. I can't even say he because I don't know it's a guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is because I sent mail to him a long time ago. I've sent mail to him a long time ago on something he bought from me. So I know, like, I sent it to a guy back then, but whoever's got the handle. But I mean, just people will tweet something like, hey, I got a new Pokemon thing today at Card Purchaser. Oh, hey, should I buy this box of cards at Card Purchaser? Like, is this worth getting right here at Card Purchaser? So anything that I just randomly tweeted, I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, I'm going to start just randomly tweeting people. So I'm like, Brian, I'm going to do you. I'm just going to randomly start tweeting. Like, hey, I bought some new stickers today at Not Nolan Ryan. Hey, good morning, everybody at Not Nolan Ryan. Hey, I got some score in the mail. Should I open my box of score at Not Nolan Ryan? I just went with it because it was super fun. I knew you were down. You were like, hey, this is hilarious. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
Shay started doing it. Someone said one of the larger card brokers, I think, retweeted or tagged you or something. It was just,
I was getting confused, but
awesome.
It was like, oh man, it kind of put it in perspective. What accounts like Card Purchaser and the Hobby Connect, they are real people. Watch the Breaks. Yvonne is another one. Ivan is another one. They get tagged. I joked. I sent a joke tweet and I was like, I've gotten over 20 notifications today. And in reality, these guys are getting hundreds a day. And it's like I think we would all do better if people were more selective about what was, being spread through accounts like that. Because they get so much dumb questions a day, and it's kind of silly.
It's funny. Tom, our buddy Tom P. Willis, he had maybe my favorite tag of you when he said, "Hey, when are the local fireworks shows in my area at Not Nolan Ryan?" But that's the kind of stuff. I know that Card Purchaser, especially, that's what that account was created for. I mean, that's why he's built 15,000 followers. But man, I've always cracked up at that. I would never do one of my tweets and tag them, but I mean, so many people do. And it's crazy. It's like he's the all-knowing expert on everything, but that's not really why they're doing it. They're doing it to get the retweet. They're not actually doing it to ask him the question, but it looks as if they're saying, what should I have for dinner tonight at Card Purchaser, or what should I buy my wife for our anniversary at Card Purchaser? I mean, it's crazy. But I know him. Now, I think Ivan is a little bit more interactive. Ivan is a little bit more original thought.
different ends of that.
Yeah. I think he has I provide some content on Twitter, but I have 20,000 followers, and he is a big retweeter. He retweets a lot. But I think that card purchaser account was created to just be a retweet account for the most part, from what I've seen. But it's crazy, and I do love the movement.
Both,
though.
By the way, I think they both provide.
They both bring a lot of value to the hobby.
Great.
I mean, card purchaser lets us know, man, anytime. Something drops online, something pops website, Target website. Yeah, he lets you know. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I like what he provides. Chris, I know you and he got in a little disagreement, and that happens. It happens with all of us.
Different from other people. It's okay.
Yeah. But no, I think it does provide value, but it is weird because like I was saying, I know why people do it, but when you're reading it, it looks completely different than why they're doing it. They only want the retweet is why they're doing it, but it makes it look like he is the god of gods on everything of everything. It's crazy, but I love that everybody's tagging you.
It's just fun. Like I get a notification.
On an average day over the weekend, how many noties did you have? How many notifications did you have coming through?
I never let them pile up, so I don't know. My phone's right there, so I'm. Someone just tagged me, haha, and respond and see what's going on. It was fun.
I think my goal by the end of the week is whenever you go to the bathroom, you're gonna have at least 100 by the time you get out.
Please no.
It's all gonna be about Major League Baseball and the home run derby. Now, my guy, Jesse Winker, already said he doesn't want to participate. He just said, I want to have a beer and watch Ohtani because Ohtani is baseball right now. We're going through something I've never seen in my life. I don't know if he deserves being a pitcher there, but definitely as a DH. But he's, made the All-Star game as a player and as a pitcher. I mean, I know pitchers are players, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in the home run derby, leads Major League Baseball in home runs. Some of the younger generation says this is more fun than McGuire and Sosa. I don't agree with that. What's your take, Brian? What are you looking forward to coming up in baseball, home run derby, all-star game, just anything in general?
I think the home run derby should be fun in Coors. Let's see. They say that, hey, Coors obviously creates, this, lots of offense, but let's see him duke it out there. I think there's I know Pete Alonso is coming back. He's doing it. It should be a lot of fun for Ohtani. They've got Trevor Story, hometown boy. That would be nice for Tom if he could win, and maybe they get a Project 70 card.
Todd Frazier won when it was in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
so.
It's just cool. I mean, they're so much fun to watch. Also, my guy Trey Mancini is going to be in it. It would be awesome for him to win. I'm very excited. I think MLB does a great job with the All-Star weekend or midweek thing, and it's a spectacular event.
Yeah, I agree. I would have loved to have seen Vladdy Jr. and Tatis in it. At Coors Field. I think that them with Ohtani, it might have been the most intriguing home run derby ever. But they opted out. Winker opted out. I did like to see Story in there. You mentioned it. I was going to say the same thing. We saw Todd Frazier win it in Cincinnati a couple years ago. Maybe the most exciting home run derby I've ever seen. Yeah. Story's only got 10 home runs this year. He's not even a huge home run hitter in Coors. I saw some stat where it listed all the players in Major League Baseball who have more home runs in their home park than Story does in his. But just being in Colorado, they're at Coors Field. We have Ohtani, and Alonso's coming back to defend his title, but I'd love to see Story make a run at it. Just to be the hometown guy. It would add some excitement. Like you said, it'd be great for Tom. I hadn't even thought about that angle, and maybe get him a Project 70 card finally. But I would love to see an Ohtani Story finals, and then both of them do really well. And I'd like to see Story win it. That'd be really cool for me.
They switched to this new format. I don't know however many years ago, but it's awesome. Everyone since they've switched to the new format, with the different advancement than it was before, it's great television, and it's going to be great no matter who's in the finals. They're going to deserve it, and That's awesome.
I tend to think it's going to be the smaller, more in shape guys who are going to be able to have the stamina and last, throughout. And that's kind of what we've seen is, when Vlad was in the finals, he kind of broke down at the end. I got the Josh Hamilton scrolling at the bottom. He hit like 32 in a round. It's like, get your 15 and stop. Cause once you hit that 32, like you're done,
You're taking extra hacks.
Yeah, I'm super excited for just the second half of baseball. It's July and the Reds have a chance. Like last year, they were really solid, made the wild card, lost to the Braves. They had no hitting and all pitching. And this year, they've got all hitting and like no pitching. They've got Brewers out there. They're going after a shortstop and Trevor Story. They need bullpen. They need starting pitcher. Lorenzen's coming back. Sims is coming back off injuries. We've got 3 with Kansas City. We've got 4 at the Brewers. Then we open up the second half with the Brewers. So we got 7 of the next 10 versus the Brewers. And we're currently sitting 7 games back. So the next 7 games are huge. And the Brewers have won like 10 out of 11, but they beat Pittsburgh, Arizona. I don't know. 3, I can't remember, maybe Kansas City. I can't remember. Or the Rockies. It was like the 3 worst teams in the league. I mean, it's hard to win 11 in a row, but when you're playing like the worst teams, that you have it. So I'm really looking forward to the Reds down the stretch this year and getting back down to Great American Ballpark and having a good time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second half too. I'm not looking forward to the Reds as much as you are because I just don't want to get my hopes up. I think we'll probably finish right around 500. And you look at the National League, there's 6 teams in Major League Baseball with 50 wins. 3 of them are in the National League West. 1 of them is in our National League Central. So there's 4 in the National League. I think it's going to be really, really hard for the Reds to make the playoffs. But that National League West, man, I saw the Giants. We talked about this earlier in the year. I saw the Dodgers having a great year. Saw the Padres having a great year. These Giants are in first place, man. They got 53 wins. They got the best record in baseball in the toughest division in baseball. That National League West is just, it is a beast.
And they have 4 former Reds as starting pitchers.
4 former Reds. Yeah.
4 former Reds are starting pitchers. Just need to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So no, the National League West is absolute head and shoulders above the other divisions, and it's crazy to have that many good teams out there. It's no wonder the Diamondbacks are so bad. Maybe they're not quite as bad as they tend to be, but they are in a historically great division, top heavy wise.
It's tough to gain traction and win any series when you're in that division with 3 very good teams right now. Absolutely.
So, obviously I think the winner of the National League, Brewers, I don't see them maintaining this. Chris, you made an excellent point about the schedule that they've had over the last few weeks. If the Reds could get 5 out of 7 from them pre and post All-Star break, then I might get excited. But that's a make or break for the Reds. You got it. It's 4 games leading in and 3 games coming out. I think that can determine my level of engagement the rest of the season with the Reds. I'm still into baseball. I love baseball. It's my favorite. It really is. And it's slow and there's stupid unwritten rules and there's a lot of dumb stuff about it. But at the end of the day, I love it. It's my favorite. And I'll be engaged. It's a great
season that they put together for us. Yeah.
Whether the Reds are involved or not, I'll be there at the end, watching baseball. So I just love it.
And speaking of loving things, Jay, I know you said you were kind of going through a little lull, and we all kind of feel that. I feel like when the world opened back up and, the stimmies went away and everybody's getting back to work or your family time, getting outside, and then Stadium Club comes out. And I know your other hobby is photography, something you really enjoy doing in your life. And we know Stadium Club's really about the photography, and there's some other awesome products that are coming out soon. But you had just said earlier that, the Stadium Club really got you back, got your mojo going again. Why don't you tell us what you ripped, what you've gotten, what might be coming in still? Talk to us a little bit about your Stadium Club, Jay.
Sure, man. You said it. Stadium Club has always been my favorite product of the year. I was so disappointed in the 2020 Stadium Club. It was awful. I did not like it last year. It really, I don't want to say broke my heart. That's going hyperbole a bit, but it was just really disappointing. But man, it came out this year. I went to Jimmy's Kentucky Roadshow, bought a hobby box that first day, and I just loved it, man. The photography was back. I don't know if you've seen that Debbie Garcia. That is my front runner of the card of the year. The photography just pops. It is that full bleed, just that amazing photography. There's a card of a pitcher. I don't even know who the pitcher is, but it's got Acuna at bat, and it's got that blur in front of it. Just the photography in there is amazing. And it's back, and I absolutely love it. And then my first hobby box, it's 2 guaranteed autographs per hobby box. I got a Jazz Chisholm and another pretty good rookie. So I was like, got 2 good autographs in that first hobby box. Loved it. Went back the next day, didn't buy a full box, but I went to a different card shop, and they had been packing a box out, and there was 10 packs left in that box. And I was like, just give me the rest of those packs. And happened to pull my second 1 of 1 ever, Casey Mize Beam Team 1 of 1. And then in the same 10 packs, I got a Barry Zito autograph, which I was like, oh, Barry Zito. And I just went on through, didn't even sort it out. And then when I put it in the top loader, I looked on the back, it's numbered to, you can't see it, it's numbered to 10. So I bought 10 packs at the hobby shop, and I got a 1 of 1 and 1 numbered to 10. So not only do I love the photography, it's my favorite set of the year. It's, it's back. It's kind of got me rejuvenated. But then buying my first hobby box, getting 2 pretty good autographs, getting all those retired vets, the Frank Thomas, the Ricky Henderson, the Dave Winfield, just the cool pictures. So that first box really sucked me back in. I go buy my second 10 packs, and I get a damn 1 of 1, and I get an autograph of 10. So it just when you think you're getting away from the hobby, it sucks you back in. And Stadium Club has done a great job of sucking me back in. So since then, I bought a couple of blasters here and there. Actually, Chris, you'd be proud. I've got a blaster unopened. Maybe, other than the blaster we gave away for the Jed giveaway, the longest a blaster has been unopened. But I got a box war coming up that I'm going to use this one for. So I've been like, kind of, the Dave Chappelle, I've been itching to open this one, but I haven't opened it yet. But Stadium Club, man, this is my favorite. Love it. The photography is top notch. And I love this year's. It's so much better than last year. Just love it.
Yeah, that Garcia photograph with him with the flag around him, it looks like it would be a super short print and tops. Like it is, they do such a good job with rookies, I think, like especially rookies and retired players in this set they feel like hits. And I think you mentioned that in the chat earlier when you're going through, you're like, all right, I saw the Cal Ripken Jr. card. It just looks great. And it's, they load them up with great photography, and it's a great set.
Anybody who follows me knows that my big collections are Rod Crew, Fergie Jenkins, J.R. Richard, Eric Davis, the old guys, man. I'd rather get those than the newer rookies. So you just mentioned it, man. In Stadium Club, there's so many of those retired players. And when I'm opening that, on top of the photography, I view that as a hit. There's a Jackie Robinson, man. There's a Barry Larkin. There's a Ricky Henderson. To me, that's more exciting than there's a Dylan Carlson or there's a Joe Adele. Right. I love it. And, just I'm in this hobby because of the nostalgia for my childhood, and pulling those cards brings back the nostalgia. And that's why I love the hobby. So, I think Stadium Club does a great job of that, and it's my favorite product, and it's brought me back. It's brought me back for sure.
What's really great is you like Stadium Club the best, and that may not, it's not the flagship. It's not what everybody loves. I really like Select Baseball. I know it's not licensed. A lot of people don't like it. I love Select basketball and football. Like, I just think Select is a really awesome product. Like, I was really big on Mosaic, and then when like the college came out, I'm like, this just, it started off awesome, and now I think it's kind of plain. So I really dig on the Select. And I know, Brian, you've got a product coming out, you said later this week or next week, that you're really excited about. Why don't you tell us about what you're excited for?
So this it's NFL Luminance, but it is another full bleed photography geared set. It still has the rookies in their college uniforms. So it's an interesting. I know football's a little weird with that, where the college uniform rookies aren't as sought after. But this stuff, like, I pulled a couple of them aside because I'm doing a break this week, and I was like, let me pull my Broncos from last year and like, get a feel for it. But like, here's Philip Lindsay from last year. Like, this is one of my favorite cards from last year. Is this Drew Lock card? He's might have thrown an incomplete pass there, but you know what? He's playing in the snow, and just all these cards look great. Yeah, John, that's what they added that in Chronicles. They did the updated NFL uniform rookies, and they all look great. Like, it is such a cool when they focus on the photography to give us a good card. It feels so much better when they are rushing to get a player holding his helmet or whatever. It's like, okay, that's cool, but these are great cards.
Absolutely.
And what I really like too with the Luminance is if you have the Chronicle Megas, they have the teal, and like the teal Tua just looks so good. It's got the color because the Dolphins are that teal color, and with the teal letters on it, like it's just such a visually pleasing card. It's like,
absolutely.
Claire, my daughter's got the Jesse Winker 2019 Chrome Rainbow, like the red chrome with the red jersey. I mean, he's got white on in the picture, but they're the reds. Everything's red like that. Just like the color match looks so good. Or like I've got a bunch of Cody Bellinger, like the blue parallels with Cody Bellinger just looks so good with the Dodger blue. So I really dig on, those kind of parallels where the color match and the color schemes look really good together.
It seemed I remember Dylan pulled one of those teal Tuas on you to win the box war on you the other night. It was
he
nice
did. Dylan smashed me.
Brian mentioned it, and Eloy's in the chat said the same thing. He's always liked the photography on the Luminance. You hit it. I mean, for me, that full bleed, less border, more photo, great photo, less busy on the front. And I'd never made that connection with the Luminance, but you're right. And I'll probably pick up a couple of those because that's what K-Dub put out a tweet not long ago. It's like, what makes your favorite card? And I was like, less busy on the front, less border, the better the photograph, the better, the more, that's what I'm all about. So I'll probably pick some of those up as well.
Awesome. Well, before we move on for baseball, let's just see what's we're almost halfway through. What is your World Series prediction as of right now? Brian, who you got?
Oh man, putting me on the spot.
The spot.
I'd have to look at the AL real quick.
Why do you think real quick? Let me mention Eloy says they're basically like full art cards because we're going to talk about Pokemon here for a minute. Like he's absolutely right. They are full art cards. There's none of the card. Okay, look, here's the Prism. It's obviously got the border around it, and then the Luminance has the whole entire card is art. So that's a great point, Eloy. While you were thinking of it, and then I just went off topic. So.
I think the World Series is tough this year. As we alluded to earlier, the NL West, like if you have the best team that comes out of the NL West, they're also having the hardest road to get to the World Series. So, do the Dodgers emerge if Kershaw and Buehler are, firing in the second half? How does that work out? I like the Padres. My boy Manny Machado is doing solid over there. But it's so, I don't want to pick one of those three teams. I'd probably go the Dodgers just because they're stacked on paper. But then you look at the AL and it's tough too. I mean, I think anything can happen this year in the playoffs in baseball. And, the top two teams in the AL are the Red Sox and the Astros right now, who I think there's no juggernaut in the AL. So I think it's wide open. It's going to be very exciting. I would never say anything good about the Red Sox, so we'll skip past that. And it also is hard to say good stuff about the Astros, but they're playing very good baseball, and nobody wants to. No fans that are not Astros fans are going to root for them to get to the World Series. So that's tough too. But it's wide open, I think, right now, and it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Brian just stole my. I mean, I was prepared to say I would rather be wrong and pick someone besides the Red Sox and Astros than to pick either one of those teams and be right. So I'm going to pick the White Sox in the AL just simply because I'm not going to pick the Red Sox or the Astros. I would rather pick somebody else and be wrong than pick one of those two and say, yeah, see, I got it right. And then in the NL, the Dodgers, we don't know where this Bauer distraction is going to go. We don't know what's happening there. And again, I'll pick with my heart. I don't like the Giants. Obviously, I don't like the Brewers because they're in the Central with the Reds. My second favorite team in baseball is the Padres behind the Reds, and I love the Padres. I love that young lineup. So I want to see, is it going to happen? Probably not. But if I had to pick a World Series, I would pick Padres White Sox is what I would like to see among the teams that are contenders right now.
The White Sox are getting back Eloy Jimenez and Luis Roberts soon too. So, I mean, for them to be where, first in the division by they're 6 games ahead of the Indians right now, and having two of their, not, their best players, because Jose Abreu's
two of the
out
best
there,
players.
but 2 great bats coming back that missed almost all the season so far. That was a good one. They might be the pick.
We got to remember that Yerman Mercedes, hit like 500 for 2 months, and then it's currently in AAA.
He got sent down.
Yeah, that was fun. But something you guys haven't mentioned is Chris Sale's coming back.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm the missing piece for the Red Sox. Like, I'm what's going to take it. And I'm a long believer that if you have like 2 good pitchers and a third okay pitcher, you can win the World Series. Like the Dodgers have, it really, like Chase said, depends on Bauer. But they've got Buehler and Kershaw, who, we all know
great one too.
Clayton's postseason woes. But these are 2 guys who can beat you any night of the week. There's a lot of teams who have those kind of guys. But I don't think there's any other 2 teams that have like a 1-2 like Kershaw and Buehler. They've got a 1 and a 1. The Reds had that last year, and they had no bats. But also you got the Dodgers with former MVP, former Rookie of the Year, Cody Bellinger, my guy, hitting 183 right now. Like, that's not going to stay. You've got, perennial MVP candidate Mookie Betts. You've got Justin Turner, Max Muncy. Gavin Lux is slowly, quietly having an amazing year, but no one ever talks about him because he's like 5th in like who's the coolest guy on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go White Sox too, and that's been my pick since the beginning. They've got a no-hitter under their belt. They've got excellent pitching. They've got, to me, the best hitter in the American League is Tim Anderson. He's so underrated. He won the batting title. It was either last year or the year before. Abreu won the MVP last year. Like you said, they're getting their power back now. And, they had their guy, who started off, to the moon, kind of Dogecoin. Now he's said, he is Dogecoin. He went to the moon, and he's back down to earth. Now he's back down to AAA. So, I mean, that guy, and he's not even around anymore. So I think the White Sox are very talented. You need 2 solid pitchers and a bunch of hitting, and they have it. So I'm going White Sox Dodgers.
Cool.
All right. We went all through baseball. And one thing, we're running kind of long because it's been awesome. But I know we wanted to talk some Pokemon. For a long time, I called it Pokemon. Then I had JB and Larry Legend and Brad and TJ on the show, and they're like, nah, man, it's Pokemon. This is what you got to look for. So then I started getting into it because my daughter likes it. So we ripped some ETBs, starting to learn. You get these little booklets that come with it. What's good, what's not, what's rare. You get the different cards like full art card. You get an amazing rare. And Brian, I know you and I were talking last week. You were like, hey, I kind of want to just get one person or one,
like my PC Pokemon.
Yeah. Your PC Pokemon. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I kind of want to do that too. And I had just hit 2 big Ditto cards. And so I want you to tell us about that conversation we had and your kind of PC Pokemon. And if no one collects it, you can teach us a little bit. I know you were talking about your booklet earlier and stuff.
So, going back to, Che, when he said Stadium Club, was great for him. Like, a lot of the nostalgia with ripping that product with the old, retired veterans. That is like a weird thing that I feel when I'm ripping Pokemon and I see some of the guys from the original 150 set that I grew up collecting. I used to remember, very cliche, like taking $10 to the card shop and getting 3 packs of, first edition Pokemon, which are probably like $200,000 packs right now because that stuff is insane. Mine were all beat up in binders, but it's okay. But it just brought me to, like another level of collecting where I was like, all right, I'm not searching for, a one-of-one auto out of these. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was like, I just want these cool cards. Like they give you these promotional cards in like half of the boxes sometimes. This is an EV, and I was like, this is such a cool, full art.
Got that one too.
Yeah, that's right. It's a cool. It's aesthetically pleasing. There's a rainbow one. Like they do a good job with it. I think it was it was good for me to find something that I would enjoy ripping without being like, oh crap, I didn't get Justin Herbert. I didn't get a quarterback rookie out of this pack. There's so many cool, the way there's common cards. Is that another full art card? They've got like different levels of rarity. So it just,
I was on mute. Yeah, this is like one of the promo packs you just said, just sitting in an ETB I opened the other day.
Yeah. It's like, those are awesome. You feel like you're winning. I feel like when you open Pokemon, because I think a lot of us are guilty of it when we're ripping stuff. You're name searching and you're looking for, if I don't get this guy, I might be disappointed. But the Pokemon has brought me to a cool place where I could recognize some names, and then they make it very obvious when you get a hit with, the full art stuff, and it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm older than both of you guys, and when Pokemon came on the scene, I had already graduated from my initial collecting stage. So I never collected Pokemon as a kid. I never collected Pokemon as an adult, but I do have an 11-year-old, and I just went to his room when Chris said we were going to talk about Pokemon and swiped these off of his dresser. So I don't really know much about these. I know he loves them though. And I've gotten to where, I'll go with him and buy these, and now he wants to go to the card shop with me, and he never did before.
Yeah,
because now he wants to buy the Pokemon. So I'm all for it. I don't know much about it. I can't contribute much to this conversation other than to kind of show, yeah, we got that one too.
You knew which ones were important though, right? You probably had them cased up and everything, but
we've got them in, in top loaders, and we go to the card shop. I'm assuming this is good. On his birthday, we went to Jimmy's Kentucky Roadshow, and he bought some Pokemon packs, and then Jimmy gave him this big, and I just went and took this off his wall too to show this. But no, it's gotten my son kind of involved in cards and kind of involved in collecting. And although I know nothing about it, if that gets me and him to be able to spend some time together, then I'm all for it. But I'm just a little bit older than you guys, and that wasn't part of my childhood, so I don't see quite that nostalgia that you would see when you open a Pokemon pack.
Yeah, I'm on that same train, Jay. I didn't have Pokemon as a kid. I must be either didn't like it or too old for the crew. I'm not exactly even sure when it came out. But basically, like I said earlier, I opened it with those guys on the Around the Hobby show. Then I got some packs for my daughter, and she just loved it. So, she digs the full art, and it's something, we do the coffee and card show every Monday or a Sunday with my daughter, Claire. We try to open something different. Sometimes it's Pokemon, sometimes it's baseball or girls soccer, or she really loved the WNBA. But, then she makes her Claire cards. And Brian, she just made yours for you. I haven't sent out yet, but I told you I would. But this is just such, like you said, aesthetically pleasing card. She's getting into art. She's finding her own interest, and maybe she's not going to like football cards, but maybe she won't like sports, but she's going to like, art. And so this is for her. And like he said, it's something that we can do together. And I'm trying to learn, I've got a Shining Fates ETB. I've got the Chilling Rain sitting here. I've got Lunchbox from whatever this is. So the Sword and Shield, they come in tins, they come in lunch boxes, they come in packs, they come in ETBs, they come in just all sorts of different things. You got $5, you can afford something. You got $40, you can afford something. You got $100, you can afford something. And also, it's going to lead us perfectly into the next topic is, Target's still carrying Pokemon. And right now, it's not a huge flip item because, people go into Walmarts and Target, just clear the shelves, and they're taking pictures of them before they even leave the stores. So Pokemon's still on the shelves there. You know, I went to Walmart last Wednesday. I had a day off from work and just happened to hit the vendor. And there were like 5 people in line. The first dude's like, okay, we're putting everything in a cart. We're going back over by the toy section and we'll get in a big line. We'll all split it up, just go in a line and just buy stuff. I'm sitting there like there's like 10 people here. I'm not going to argue with this guy. Like, I think that's dumb. But then after he did it, I'm like, okay, this was kind of cool. Like, we each got like 4 things. You know, I had a mega of Draft Picks Prism, which is one of my favorite products. I like the College Unis, and 2 NBA Prism Blasters. So that worked, but all the Pokemon was still on the shelf. You can go to Target and the Pokemon's still on the shelf. And I really think it's working that Target's doing the online drops only. I know, like we talked about earlier, cart purchasers, he's tweeting every time that drops are on. And you see a lot of people tweeting that drops are coming out, and everyone wants to be the first one. So like, oh, Brian, you were the first one to say that this is out. You're so cool. And it's like, okay, like 90% of us are in a Discord, and they're dropping a monitor and saying when stuff's coming down. And they're saying, okay, here's the link. Click on it. So it's like, I'm going to get my stuff. Then I'm going to go to my chat groups that I'm friends with, and I'm going to give you guys the links.
Right.
You know, I post in our cardboard community. I post in the NL City Cards chat when I find stuff. But also, like, not going to lie, like, I'm going to get my stuff first, and then I'm going to let you guys know. Because if I'm letting you guys know, then it's like, I didn't get anything. But, you know, you're probably not either because it's already too late. Because sometimes they drop 100,000. Sometimes it's 20,000. And honestly, I've gotten more cards that way in the last, 2 months than I had probably any 2 months prior. It's just by, I have to be up at 5:45 in the morning. So I'm up when they drop, and you get the little message from the Discord. And it's like, okay, click on this, see if I can get through. Can I get 3? Okay, sometimes just hit repeat. Okay, I got through. Sweet. I got some Chronicles coming in, or, it's just how it goes sometimes. But then, you got to try to hook yourself up, and then you try to hook your friends up too. And like I said, I do see people tweeting out to everybody. I'm just not going to be that guy. Like, you can be that guy if you want. I'm not going to be that guy. What do you think, Brian? Are you that guy?
I am not that guy. I am too busy trying to spread it to my friends, like you said. I've got my brother and one of his friends are collectors as well, and they're not really as involved in like Twitter or Discord. So they're probably first on my mind to like, all right, let me push this link out to them. And then, Cardboard Connection, and just various groups of people that might not be in, these ones with these Discord groups with monitors, because they, it's a huge thing to get that first notification. And, like you said, you're in there trying to click through. I dig it though. I mean, it, like you said, it has made stuff accessible. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. But I think a lot of us have spent a lot of time just looking for a parking spot and walking into Target and maybe not getting something, and that being your sole purpose for the trip was kind of like a draining thing. And when it's online, it makes it all right. Well, we'll get them next week, hopefully. But it's an interesting landscape that it has created. I think online is good, but like, how do you stop it from being, bots and resellers? The quantity limit, I think, is huge. If they just make it so you can only get this per account, like Topps does a good job with it. I think Walmart, no one can get stuff because I don't know if it's unlimited or not, but it's just all gone like instantly. It's interesting. I think it might be a better system than in-store, but it's not perfected yet. And a balance. Yeah, who knows what people find it before people get out of the hobby? We don't know. But
yeah, you still see card brokers and other bot companies who have no shame, and hey, I just got our guys got 20,000 boxes of XYZ, or we just got 90,000 of the whatever inventory is out there, and they're just like, hey, I don't care. I'm just going to tell you what we did. Come buy my subscription because that's what I do. I'm going to charge you $45 a month, but I'm going to get you a whole bunch of stuff. So come buy my stuff. Like, yeah, obviously I'm going to promote that because I want you to buy it from me. Like, it's money. It's a business. What do you think, Chad? I know you said you haven't really been getting stuff except for the Stadium Club.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on going to online?
I've never bought a single box of cards from a vendor's website. I bought I think I bought one box of Prism basketball back in 2019 on eBay, but I don't do the online box buying. Um, Man, the cards I go after, I love hobby boxes. I do. I like being able to get, you know, the hits in the hobby boxes. And I don't really collect the cards that end up being $1,500 a hobby box. You know, Stadium Club I can get for $110, $120 at the local card shop, or $8 a pack, $7 a pack at the different card shops. I like Topps Flagship, Series 1, Series 2. You know, so I happen to have a Walmart. I've got 5 Walmarts within 25 to 30 minutes of me. One of them instituted the 2 per day rule about 8 months ago. I know she stocks on Thursday mornings at about 9 o'clock. I can pretty much go to that Walmart sometime around 9:15, 9:30 on a Thursday morning and get my. I'm not a huge spender, so I'm not trying to buy 10 boxes or 15 boxes. So I can get my 2 boxes of Stadium Club at that Walmart and I'm happy, or my 2 boxes of Series 2 at that Walmart and I'm happy. I got Hoops Premium Stock basketball at that Walmart. So I have found a Walmart that is within about 13 minutes from my house. I know when she stocks, and they have a 2 per day limit. If I get there at 9:15 on a Thursday morning, I can pretty much get what I want to get retail wise. So I don't really I've never done it online. I really haven't. So if I didn't have that Walmart close by, I probably would pay more attention to the online purchasing. But I've never been a buy more than a couple right now anyway, because I've never sold an unopened product in my life. You know me, Chris. The fact that this is sitting here after a week is absolutely amazing. I opened these suckers in the car. I've got penny sleeves and top loaders in my glove box. So if I can't make it home before I open, I can sleeve the hits. I'm the most impatient person when it comes to opening cards ever. So I don't flip. I don't sell an open product, and I don't buy a lot. I buy it for the love of opening, not for resale. And I found something local that I can get what I want when I want, pretty much. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that. And I haven't had to, I don't want to say resort to online purchasing yet, but I haven't had to do the online purchasing yet.
I've almost found like a better freedom. Like before it was, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, Thursday, Friday afternoons. So my kids are at the babysitter Thursday, Friday mornings. I'd find myself, spend an hour and a half going into Targets or Walmarts. And I really, I enjoyed it. It's like, okay, I got 2 hours. What else am I going to do with those 2 hours? I've already watched Loki. I've watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like what am I going to do for those 2 hours? Just sit at home, like mow the grass or whatever. So I got 2 hours. I'm going to go do, what I want to do. But then, since they don't have them in stores, it's like, okay, now I am doing yard work. I am mowing the grass. I am, cutting down the trees in the backyard and burning stuff. So I feel like I'm doing the things that I was like, oh, I have nothing to do. But then it's like, okay, now I'm finding those things that need to be done around the house. And it's kind of more of a freedom because, you're not going to Target and finding anything, but it's like, oh, I got to get, some diapers. Okay, I'll run to Walmart real quick. And like I said before too, it's like, I know I'm not going to get solid product because I just happened to go for diapers last week, and yeah, there are 5 guys already in line, the vendors up there, and everything that you could flip or even want besides, like Series 1 or Series 2 and Stadium Club was already gone because they literally just took them, the whole cart, whole boxes of them, put them in a cart and divvied them out to everybody. So if I want some Prism draft picks, I'm gonna have to either run into the vendor, get it on target.com, or, have a buddy who finds some and will sell it to me at cost because, we try to do that with a lot of people is, Tyler Liddy Cards. He's one of the ones that I don't want to say trade with, but if I got, product that he wants and I know he likes it, I'll sell it to him at cost. And same thing, like I got him some Optic, he got me some Prism, or like Nick Mukasey, I talked about him earlier. He got me a whole bunch of Chronicles because he got them on Target and I didn't. And, I got some Sapphire and I sent him over to Kelly because Kelly didn't get any Sapphire. And, Kelly hooks me up with stuff all the time. So I'm like, I can't make a profit off Kelly. I'm just going to sell it to him at cost. Like I can go, hold my Sapphire box for a year, sell it, make a bunch of profit, or I can make my buddy happy because he didn't get some and I'm going to hook him up. So that's kind of more when I buy like 10 boxes, I'm going to sell some to Che at cost. I'm going to sell some to you at cost. I'm going to send some to Tyler or to Cody or Terry or Eloy because, if it's when the Megas hoops came out, you're selling them for 150, profit. Yeah, that's one thing. But if it's like $10, $15, like I'd rather hook you up and make, $10. But if it's $150, that's a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess that's kind of where I'm at that one.
Yeah, I think that, we're starting to see some of the lower tier product, sit on the shelf per se. And that's great for us baseball collectors because that was the first one to kind of come to that, hey, you might walk in the next day and be able to pick up a blaster, which was not heard of, summer, fall, winter last year. And, Bowman Megas were on Target a couple, when they put 100,000 up on the Target website, they were there until 4 p.m. And that's a premium baseball product. So, it'll be interesting to see how, if they really are printing, so much that do we get to a point where stuff gets left on the shelf? Because I think that's what we need to return to a normal, hey, that they stock on Thursday mornings at 9 p.m., but what if that's not convenient for you? In a perfect world, you could stop by on Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Right.
And,
like
whenever is convenient and not just have to know, a certain amount of information. Baseball is looking like it's returning to that. Basketball probably never will. I don't know if football will, but it's very interesting to see how it works.
I agree with that.
All right, I got one more question and one more topic before we roll. Dylan had put in the comments, why are you not Nolan Ryan? He wants to know. D Moose.
Well, when I was conceived, Nolan Ryan was already in existence and striking people out, so there wasn't really room for me to be Nolan Ryan. But I guess my username, the origin of that is, I don't know, for some reason my grandparents, I've probably told this story to a couple of people, but this is kind of the first, unveiling of it. My grandparents and, my parents are big into baseball. They're New York Yankees fans, but there's always this fascination with Nolan Ryan. Pictures of him in the house, I think he used to do through the mail autographs. And, they'd have it like on the fridge and like here. And I was like, there's, and I had graduated from like high school and college at this point. I was like, there's like 5 pictures of Nolan Ryan in this house and like 3 of me. And it was just like a weird, like, okay, I noticed that. And when I eventually found Card Twitter, I was like, all right, I want to remove, I have a personal Twitter account that I haven't used since I found Card Twitter, but it's been in existence since 2008 or 9. And I was like, I'm just going to start fresh on Card Twitter. Let me come up with a name. And coming up with a name is the hardest thing for anything. So it just kind of happened. And I was like, all right, not Nolan Ryan. Cool. It works with the sound and I got a little story. So that's how it came to be.
That's really cool. You're muted, Chris, by the way.
I'm always muted because
he said that was cool too, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done a show in so long that all my skills and my knowledge just went right out the window, and I'm back to being an amateur again. But one more big thing, none of us really care about hockey. Toronto is going to lose, or Tampa is going to take it to Montreal. They're not going to be able to celebrate because they're in Canada, and that's what's going to happen. But the NBA Finals, who are we going to see? We going to see Giannis, or are we going to see Chris Paul? Because it's the Bucks and the Suns. And, for the first time, Giannis is the superstar, but he's also like not been there. There's no LeBron. There's no Steph. There's no KD. There's no Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, the guys who've been there every year, basically since I've been alive. So I'm kind of stoked to watch. This is probably the least amount of NBA I've ever watched in my life. But I'm definitely tuning in to the finals. I want to see Chris Paul win. I'm going to be a Suns fan for the next couple weeks, and that's who I'm rooting for. And honestly, I think they win. They've got super talented roster. DeAndre Ayton's a former #1 overall pick. and he's showing them why. Finally, he's the Tatis. He's just take a couple years to get there, but he's there. And Chris Paul, he just slowly underrated Hall of Famer, doesn't get the love he deserves because he's always been number 2 or number 3 on his team. And now he's the guy, and he's absolutely showing why he's the guy. So, Che, or you watch NBA? Who you rooting for? Or you got anything to add to this here?
Man, how are you going to spend 90 seconds talking about the Suns and not bring up Devin Booker? You talk about DeAndre Ayton. You talk about Chris Paul. This Devin Booker's leading this team. No, Chris Paul is actually, I've never been a huge Chris Paul fan. Glad to see him in the finals. But, this team, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. And it's really, really unusual to see a team not take a yearly progression, a first-round exit, maybe a second-round exit, maybe make it to the conference finals, and then the next year get there. But, they went in that bubble last year, and they went undefeated in the bubble. Didn't help them. They didn't make the playoffs, but they played great in that bubble. And they came out this year, and they've had maybe the most fortuitous path to the finals in the history of the NBA. They get the Lakers without Anthony Davis. They get the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. And then they get the Clippers without Kawhi. And now it looks like they might have the Bucks without a 100% healthy Giannis. So I'm Team Suns all the way. I've liked the Suns for 4 or 5 years. Back, I think 3 years ago, they had like 5 UK players on there. So I really started following them then. And all the rest of them have dwindled away except for Booker. But I'm big time pro Suns in this series. I think the Suns will take it. I don't think Giannis is going to come back 100% if the Suns can get that first game and steal it away. I think they win in 6. I think Suns in 6 is my pick.
Who has home field or home court advantage? I think NBA does what 2-1.
It's 2-1-1.
2-1-1-1-2.
I think it's 2-1-1-1-2, or it's either 2-2-1-1-1 or 2-1-1-1-2, one or the other. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's 2-2-1-1-1, but I'm gonna look it up while you talk.
We've got an Abbott Costello routine going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, Montreal's beating Tampa.
Yeah. I think,
Brian, you had.
I would love for the Stanley Cup to go to Canada. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I think that would be very cool for them. But moving on to the NBA, I'm not a huge NBA fan, like Chris mentioned. I think he's 5 or 6 years older than me, but we saw the same people in the finals, in the early 2000s up until recently. And I think the NBA as a league has lacked that that parity where it doesn't feel like any team can make it in the NBA. You could, if you look at the preseason predictions, of all the experts, 80% of them are going to have the matchup of the NBA Finals. And it's not that this year. And it's interesting. I think that's very good for the sport. I saw a tweet where they're getting great ratings on television with these, not that they're non-traditional, but not the superstar teams, not the Lakers, the Celtics, whatever. And I'm going to watch the finals. I think NBA playoffs are a great product. But I think it's very cool and good for the sport moving forward that we're not just watching LeBron play, someone else. Where other people are getting a chance, and these smaller market teams are doing it. And I think the NBA has lacked that severely. So it's great.
Yeah.
I don't have a prediction who's going to win, though. I'll go I will take the Bucks. If you guys are both going to be on the Suns, I will go the contrarian route.
Get your Devin Booker rookies this week before they are unaffordable.
People were saying that all year, and then here we are. And they will be.
Yeah, so you're going against me with the Bucks, but I see you got my guy Drew Lock behind you there. So I know you're a Broncos fan. That's my dude too. So, I got big things coming out of Lock, Judy, Hamler this year. Fant got the top 5 defense coming on. Got Chubb and Vaughn playing together for a full season for the first time ever. I'm fired up. But we've gone an hour or almost 55 minutes here, got through all of our topics. So I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on. I've got nothing else to say. Che, do you got anything else to say you want to exit out on?
Man, you talk about no, I'm not. I'm not going to go there. We'll talk about it next time. I'm mad at your Broncos. They cut my guy. They cut my punter, and it pissed me off. Max Duffy, they cut him. So we'll talk about that on the next. But no, just should be a great week of sports. Looking forward to this home run derby. Love to see Ohtani's story. Looking forward to the NBA Finals. I'm glad to be back. Excited about opening cards again. So glad to be back talking to you guys. Thank you, Brian, for joining us. Yeah, I really appreciate having you on, and come back anytime, man. So with that, Chris, back to you. Peace out, and talk to you next time.
All right, Brian, you got anything to anything to say to part with?
I think, keeping with the trend of pointing over to Drew Lock, I'm excited that we are not the subject of HBO's Hard Knocks. I think that is restriction. That's over the nuts. Hard Knocks would be very cool to see your team on, but I think it would make me nervous as well. And they just announced that the Dallas Cowboys were going to be Hard Knocks. So it would have made me very nervous watching the quarterback controversy unfold in real time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's not happening. And also, along with great sports this week, we've got the European Soccer Championship going on. I believe that the semifinals games are Tuesday and Wednesday at like 3 p.m. and then the finals are on Sunday. And I used to love watching those when I was like in high school. And then I guess I just missed like 2014 to 2018 of international soccer, but it's a phenomenal sport. And, if you go to the bathroom, you will miss the only goal of the game. Yeah. That happens to me all the time.
I've been watching the Euro, loving it. I've watched so many matches. I watched some of the Copa, the South American one on Fox Sports 1, and they had 100% American announcing teams, and it just drove me crazy that I didn't hear that British accent on the announcer. Right. It just wasn't the same. But no, I've been watching a lot of the Euro. I haven't been watching the South American, but I've gotten into that Euro a lot. So
it's great. I mean,
it's been cool.
The top level of competition. That's what we want.
Yeah, it's been very good. So
thank you guys for having me. This is a blast. I always love when I come on these shows. This is my second appearance. Around the hobby was the first one, but you do a great job, Chris and Jay. This was a blast. We went on maybe too long, maybe not. Maybe not long enough.
I say it every time. I'm like, man, we went too long, but we do it every time. We go too long every time.
Save this for next time because there's more to talk about.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And we could probably go on for another hour easy, but we'll save that for next time. But everybody watching, thank you for watching live and commenting, interacting. If you're watching it later, thanks for watching it later. For Not Nolan Ryan, for ENS Sports Cards, I'm Goldline Cards. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.